guys, today we are doing a mini haul, and I wanted to start off by talking about a service that approached me called Shipitou. So, as you guys know, I don't do a lot of sponsored videos on this channel. I really don't want this to turn into a channel where I'm just shilling all kinds of labels and products, and it's very inauthentic. Whenever I get approached to talk about something, I always look into it and make sure it's something that I think is actually good and that I believe in, because I don't want you guys to not take my recommendations because you think it's just paid or whatever it may be. This company reached out to me, they explain what they do, and I think this is a great service, specifically for international vinyl fans trying to buy from the US, although there is one scenario that I think it could help in the USA. So I'm going to explain what they do. I'll talk about what I got in my haul and show you guys some really killer records that I picked up. So basically what Shipitou does is if you are international and you can't buy from a US retailer because they either don't ship internationally or it's hard to buy with a foreign credit card, which happens occasionally, they give you a virtual US address at one of their warehouses in the US. I recommend the one in Oregon because Oregon has no sales tax, which, side note, is a great thing because that's where I'm moving and I'm going to save a ton of money buying records, but that's a whole nother subject. I think that's a great idea because what they'll do is you'll order from these different places, they'll consolidate them, and I think it'll be cheaper ultimately than if you tried to purchase all these things individually. Now, a way that I thought this could work for a US person is that if you're trying to buy from a bunch of labels that tend to jack up their price of shipping, like I know a lot of them charge $12, $15 for priority shipping, no media mail option. I bet you if you ordered a bunch of these to a warehouse and had them bulk shipped, they would probably be cheaper ultimately from Shipitou. Worth considering. I think that's a good use case for US people, but international it seems invaluable, especially for those merchants that don't sell internationally. If you like this service and you want to try it out, there is a link in the description, 15% off your first order, and with Black Friday, Cyber Monday coming up, maybe not a bad idea to give it a shot. So they do offer a free and a premium membership, so you can use it either way. It depends on how often you're using it. If you're going to use it a lot, premium makes more sense because you get a discount off of some of their kind of a la carte options. So you always get like a photo of it and a visual check. But if you wanted to get additional things, it costs money and premium users get a discount. These are things like extra bubble wrap, express processing, taking off tags if it's a gift, which is kind of cool. Also insurance and help with custom forms and things of that nature. So you can kind of pick and choose what you want. All three of mine came in a big box. They were all packaged well inside the box, which was nice. You can see a picture of it here. I didn't open them on camera because I wanted to listen to the records I want to talk about first so I can share the music because that's ultimately what this channel is about. Shipitou gives an option to repackage the stuff for you. I would say for us vinyl fans, definitely don't do that because vinyl needs to be packaged so specifically a lot of these labels and stores are doing it properly as is. I would trust them, but an interesting caveat to that is if you're ordering from somewhere like Target or Urban Outfitters that sometimes just Hail Mary packs things in an absolute nightmare fashion and it's just like a record bouncing around in a big box, maybe it would actually be helpful for them to pack it for you. That could be a little life hack right there. So the three places I ordered from were Amazon, FYE, and Acoustic Sounds. Let me show you what I picked up. I'm so stoked on these buys. First one is Amazon. This is Kid Cudi's Indicud. This was after Man on the Moon 1 and 2. He had great success with both, and for some reason this one didn't get as much acclaim and is honestly one of the more unsung titles in his catalog. I'm shocked about that because while it isn't as good as the first two records, this record has a lot of killer tracks like King Wizard and some other really interesting ones. There's a ton of great hip-hop features on here. You got A$AP Rocky, you have Too Short, lots of interesting people that are from that scene, but what Kid Cudi did with this album, which I think is really unique, this is 2013. This is pretty early on in this wave of rappers working with indie artists, but he samples a ton of really good indie artists from this era. We get Father John Misty and Haim on this record, which is really cool and adds some interesting texture compared to some of the stuff he's done before and after. I think this is a great record. It's a huge package. It's 3 discs. Comes in this really big gatefold with this gigantic spine. As you guys know, even though they take up more space on the shelves, I do love a big record spine. So really excited about this one. This is one of the holes in my Cudi collection because it's always fairly expensive. Even retail, I think it was like $35-40, but glad to own it now. And then from FYE, I picked up their exclusive version of Slipknot's We Are Not Your Kind. This is the newest album from Slipknot. And as you guys saw in a recent video, I did have a very lucky pickup of Volume 3 Subliminal Verses on Discogs, and it kind of threw me down a rabbit hole of Slipknot. I am shocked at how much I love this band. I never gave them too much attention in high school, but I just am so impressed with how aggressive but melodic their albums are. And there are stuff that's really soft and beautiful and stuff that's really heavy and intense. And they fit together perfectly like a puzzle on almost every album. This is not quite as good as, Volume 3 and Iowa. But I will say that this is a very solid album, especially this late into their career. This is the grayish kind of silver variant that FYE had. And there are a few other colored variants, but I think that gray is a pretty good color for Slipknot for a few reasons. So this is a great addition. I've been meaning to pick this up, and I'm happy to say that the pressing sounds great. And speaking of pressings that sound great, two from Acoustic Sounds. So Acoustic Sounds is a store, and Analog Productions is their label imprint. And I am having such a love affair with their releases. They do everything purely analog transfer from original tapes, usually 45 RPM, usually 200 gram, even though I think I just read that they are switching down to 180 gram moving forward. I think it's just a cost thing, but it really doesn't affect the sound that much, if at all. But the two I just picked up from them are two of the best sounding records in my entire collection. The first being Leonard Skinner's, pronounced Leonard Skinner, which is their first album. This debut is classic rock royalty. I mean, this is truly one of the greatest debut albums of all time. Southern rock at its finest, and everyone knows Freebird. I mean, it's almost a meme at this point, but it's a great song with a killer timeless solo, and side D of this entirely is all just Freebird, which is great. But Tuesday's Gone, Give Me 3 Steps, and Simple Man are three unbelievable tracks, all back to back on here, and they all convey a different feeling. It's just really, really good music, and this pressing soars. When I was playing Tuesday's Gone, I closed my eyes and I really felt like they were in the room with me. This is the quality that we look for as vinyl fans, that authentic, analog, warm sound. I mean, this label knocks it out of the park every damn time. And another classic I haven't picked up yet is Tea for the Tillerman by Cat Stevens. This is another record that is just unbelievable, emotional, powerful, intimate folk rock. Where Do the Children Play, Hard-Headed Women, and Wild World, which Wild World's probably his most famous song, or top 3 at least. Back to back to back on here is just so good, but every song on here is just magical. And this pressing in particular, 45 RPM, 200 gram, it sounds like it's the magic that we look for as vinyl fans. I've heard an original pressing of this and it sounds good, but this is next level. And if you have a setup that can discern the difference between a pressing or two, I highly advise you checking this one out, because it will test your system in a way you've never experienced, and it will be a great way to show people who don't know why vinyl's great, why we love it so much. This is a great album musically, and this pressing, it shattered all my expectations. I now have these two, and I have a Jeff Beck record, and I have 2 Beach Boys records, and they are all the best sounding records in my collection. So Mo-Fi is stellar, but these Analog Production records are the gold standard for me. So that is my mini haul. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you check out Shipitou. Again, there's a link in the description for 15% off, so hopefully you utilize that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about if you use this service, if you think it might be something you might want to use. If you have any questions, I can try to answer them or ask them for you. And of course, let me know what you think of this haul. I'm really happy about these pickups, and I think they're recommendations I would give anyone to listen to. So thank you guys for watching this video. More coming soon. Take it easy.